Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man movie is being marketed as a clean slate for the character, but the leaks point toward two conflicting directions for the plot. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige stated this movie returns Peter Parker to his basics, living in a small apartment, listening to police scanners, and stopping street-level crime. However, leaked trailer descriptions and art book pages tell a different story. They reveal Peter's DNA is mutating. He is entangled with anti-mutant groups, fighting a gray Hulk, and emerging from an organic web cocoon. This chart maps those opposing priorities. On one side, the promise of street-level isolation. On the other, biological mutation and X-Men crossovers. We'll examine the 5 distinct comic book origins colliding here, seeing how these tones actually fit together. This shift toward biological horror moves the film away from a standard sequel structure, prioritizing Peter's physical changes over his previous character arc. We start with origin number 5, the aesthetic Furroberg. Leaked production notes highlight direct homages to Spider-Man's earliest combat poses and a focus on Peter building his own equipment with a 3D printing fabricator. The filmmakers are referencing Amazing Fantasy number 15, Spider-Man's original debut. They are using this 1962 baseline for his new suit and movements to create a sense of nostalgia. Grounding Peter as a broke New Yorker roots him in the imagery fans have requested, but there is a trade-off. If the core plot is about a mutant DNA crisis, this vintage look might feel like superficial set dressing rather than a return to the character's roots. This leads to origin number 4, the Torment era. Concept art explicitly cites Todd McFarlane's dark 1990 run as a primary influence for the film's visual style. McFarlane's work is characterized by large, expressive eyes and a moody, psychological atmosphere that separates it from the brighter tones of earlier comics. This darker style provides the visual framework for street-level crossovers with violent characters like John Bernthal's Punisher. Frank Castle's houseboat headquarters and industrial barge command center fit better in this shadow-heavy version of New York. By combining 1960s nostalgia with 1990s grit, the studio is moving the character away from the light-hearted high school tone of the previous trilogy. Origin number 3 is the narrative reset provided by One More Day and Brand New Day. Peter is now living in a small apartment in a building like this, operating in total isolation. Because No Way Home erased his secret identity from the world's memory, he is fully committed to being Spider-Man all the time. Producer Rachel O'Connor describes this theme as Spider-Man too much. Peter Parker's civilian life has effectively vanished. He struggles to rediscover balance after sacrificing his identity, leading to awkward moments where he tries to connect with ordinary people while remaining completely anonymous. The trade-off is that this reset removes years of relationship building with Ned and MJ. It forces the story to rely on the tension of whether his friends will ever remember him, which risks stalling his character growth in favor of a repetitive subplot. By isolating Peter, the script delivers the solitary version of the character many requested, even if it removes his existing emotional support. Origin number 2 moves the plot into sci-fi territory, the Six-Arms Saga and the Man-Spider mutation. Tom Holland has described this arc as a spider puberty storyline. His DNA is mutating, he's plagued by heightened, disorienting senses, and his eyes turn jet black as his arachnid nature manifests physically. This mutation links Peter to the broader X-Men storyline. Leaks suggest Tremel Tillman is playing an anti-mutant activist from Damage Control who is actively hunting the mutant Jean Grey, pulling Spider-Man into a larger political conflict. The cost of this mutant origin is that Spider-Man's standalone story must compete for screen time with heavy MCU world-building. His personal struggle with his powers becomes a vehicle for the introduction of the X-Men. Origin number 1 is The Other, a 2005 storyline that introduces a physiological rebirth to the mythos. The leaked trailer climax shows Peter emerging from a giant webbing cocoon with upgraded powers. His physical strength is heightened, and he gains the ability to sense vibrations through his webs. This flowchart maps how biological changes alter his combat mechanics. Replacing mechanical web shooters with organic webbing erases his identity as a working-class inventor. Biological webs cannot run out or malfunction, which completely removes a vital layer of tension from his battles. The Other delivers a significant power ghost for this version of Spider-Man, but it trades his relatable tech genius identity for a biological weapon identity. Brand New Day is attempting to balance a grounded, street-level team-up with the Punisher against a sci-fi mutant body horror origin. This matrix maps the desire for street-level action against mutations. For lore purists wanting X-Men crossovers, the physiological changes are a highly rewarding bridge to the MCU. But for casual fans preferring tech-heavy, light-hearted films, the organic mutation will feel jarringly unfriendly. Ultimately, you should adjust your expectations. This is not a neighborhood adventure. It is a dark, biological rebirth for the character.